Have you ever heard of Zheng He, the Chinese mariner who commanded the largest fleet the world had ever seen? His voyages are legendary, but what if I told you that centuries before him, and long before Columbus or Magellan, another navigator may have already mapped the world? This isn't a story you'll find in most history books. It's a tale of incredible skill, lost knowledge, and a map that could rewrite our understanding of the age of discovery. Let's rewind the clock. It's the early 15th century. European maps of the world are crude, filled with mythical beasts and vast unknown territories. They show 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, surrounded by an impassable ocean. The Americas, Antarctica, Australia, they don't exist on these maps. Venturing into the open Atlantic was considered a near-suicidal act. Yet in 1513, a Turkish admiral named Piri Reis created a map so astonishingly detailed and accurate that it continues to baffle experts to this day. The Piri Reis map shows the western coasts of Europe and North Africa and the coast of Brazil, all with remarkable precision. But here's where it gets truly mind-bending. The map also seems to depict a landmass south of South America, an ice-free Antarctica. How is this possible? Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, and its coastline wasn't fully mapped until the advent of modern technology in the 20th century, long after it was covered by a massive ice sheet. Piri Reis himself provided a clue. He wrote in the map's notations that he didn't create it from his own explorations. Instead, he compiled it from about 20 older source maps. Some of these maps were contemporary, sourced from Portuguese explorers, and even one from Christopher Columbus himself. But others, he claimed, dated back to the time of Alexander the Great. He stated that his map showed lands unknown to the geographers of his time. This is where the theory gets fascinating. Could one of these ancient source maps have been created by a civilization with advanced maritime and cartographic knowledge long before the Europeans? A civilization whose records are now lost to history? Proponents of this idea, like the late Professor Charles Hapgood, argued that the Piri Reis map is evidence of a highly advanced, ancient seafaring people. Hapgood and his students at Keene State College spent years studying the map. They proposed a radical theory. The map was drawn using a sophisticated spherical projection centered near modern-day Cairo. When they reprojected the map onto a globe, they found the distortions lessened, and the continents fell into a surprisingly accurate alignment. But the most startling part of their conclusion was about Antarctica. They believed the map depicted the continent's coastline as it would have looked before it was covered in ice, suggesting the source map must be thousands of years old, dating back to the end of the last ice age, around 10,000 BCE. Imagine that for a moment. A civilization capable of circumnavigating the globe and charting its continents with precision more than 12,000 years ago. This would completely upend our conventional timeline of human history, which places the rise of advanced civilizations much later. It suggests a lost chapter of our past, a high culture that rose and fell, leaving behind only tantalizing fragments of its knowledge, like a message in a bottle floating through time. So, who could these mysterious ancient mariners have been? We don't have a definitive answer. Some speculate it could have been the people who built other enigmatic ancient structures like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which also dates back over 11,000 years and displays a surprising level of astronomical and engineering knowledge. Could a single, globally connected culture have existed in our deep past? Now, it's important to be clear, this is a controversial theory. Mainstream historians and cartographers are skeptical. They argue that the supposed Antarctic coastline is more likely a depiction of the South American coast, perhaps bent to fit the shape of the parchment. They point out that while some parts of the Piri Reis map are accurate, others, like the Caribbean islands, are wildly distorted. They suggest that Piri Reis simply pieced together information from various sources, including sailors' tales and rough sketches, leading to a mix of accuracy and fantasy. Critics of Hapgood's theory also argue that an ice-free Antarctica in 10,000 BCE is geologically improbable. While the ice sheet has fluctuated, the idea of a completely clear coastline is not supported by current climate models. They propose that the map's southern landmass is an imaginative invention, a representation of the legendary Terra Australis Incognita, the unknown southern land that many ancient and medieval geographers believed must exist to balance the landmasses of the northern hemisphere. But the questions remain. How did Piri Reis, or his sources, map the coast of South America so accurately, long before it was fully explored by Europeans? The Treaty of Tordesillas in 1494 divided the New World between Spain and Portugal along a meridian line. But how did they know there was a continent there to divide? It suggests that some knowledge of these lands existed in certain circles before Columbus's famous voyage. And what about other maps? The Piri Reis map isn't the only anomaly. The Orontius Phineus map of 1531 also shows a detailed Antarctica, complete with rivers and mountain ranges, again appearing ice-free. The Haji Ahmed map of 1559 shows a remarkably modern-looking land bridge connecting Siberia and Alaska. These maps, and others like them, seem to contain information that shouldn't have been known at the time. Were they all just lucky guesses and creative compilations? Or were they all drawing from the same lost ancient source? Let's think about the implications. If an advanced civilization mapped the world in deep antiquity, it means our history is far more complex and mysterious than we're taught. It would mean that humanity has reached great heights of achievement before, only to have that knowledge lost through cataclysm, conflict, or the simple passage of time. It forces us to ask, what else have we forgotten? What other secrets are buried in old manuscripts, undeciphered scripts, and submerged ruins? The story of the Piri Reis map isn't just about a piece of parchment. It's a keyhole through which we can glimpse a different version of the past. It challenges our assumptions about progress and the capabilities of our ancestors. We tend to view history as a straight line of advancement, from primitive beginnings to our modern technological age. But what if it's more like a series of cycles, of peaks of knowledge and troughs of ignorance? The debate over the map continues. Is it a copy of an ancient blueprint of the world, or is it a clever but flawed collage of 16th century knowledge? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Maybe Piri Reis did have access to some incredibly old charts, but he had to interpret and merge them with the newer, incomplete data of his own time, creating the hybrid of genius and confusion we see today. Regardless of the final answer, the map serves as a powerful reminder that there is still so much we don't know about our own planet and our own past. It encourages us to keep questioning, to keep exploring, and to remain open to the possibility that history is not as settled as it seems. The real treasure isn't just the map itself, but the sense of wonder and curiosity it inspires. It proves that a single artifact can challenge everything we thought we knew. What do you think? Was there a lost civilization of master navigators? Or is the Piri Reis map simply a masterpiece of 16th century compilation and imagination? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey into the mysteries of cartography and lost history as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves a good historical puzzle. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you wouldn't miss our next exploration into the unexplained. Thanks for watching.